Hello everybody, welcome. We are in an event today. We are doing the Junk Journal Jamboree, and we are streaming everybody into the Journaling Jamboree group on Facebook. So thanks for being here today. When you come on, I hope that you will say hello and let us know that you're here. If you're not seeing the little red live button on Facebook on on your screen, then you're watching the replay. So if you're doing that, type in hashtag replay. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can just let us know that you were here. You can leave a comment in the comment section. There's a little chat option too. So sometimes we get several people there, and it's kind of nice if you get a chance to chat with people. Hi Tammy, how are you doing? So let me pop in here and make sure that we can see all the comments as people come in. So we're just finishing up with the person before me, which was Cynthia. And so a couple of us, or probably several of us that were in yesterday's event, we're probably going to continue on our books that we were working on yesterday. So, there's always that fun, right? But you can't finish a junk journal in one day, right? Hey, Cheryl, Deborah, Tammy, Carol, Sue. Sometimes I say names and I can't even remember who all I said. Cheryl. I said Cheryl, Carol. So, oh my goodness, I'm terrible. I know. I try, you guys. I try. Hi, Estella. How are you doing? So yeah, just pop on in and say hello. What do you guys, have you been watching everybody before me? If you haven't, you should go back and watch the replays, because we've got some great people today in all of our presenters in our group today have been wonderful. You'll want to go back and check out any of the things that you have missed, because it is just a super fun event and so many great ideas. Hi Jean, how are you? So many ideas, and we had a great thing from Lindy, and she made the cutest thing, and the base of it was from a tissue box. So you never know where you can find some of your best foundation pieces, right? And that's one of them is other packaging that you use, or that comes to you, things that cereal boxes, food boxes, food packaging is a great thing to use when you are finished with it. Keep some of those things. You don't have to keep all of them. Keep a few, and then if you get ready to use it, then you've got it handy, right? Okay, I think we're everywhere we need to be. Oh, I hope let's see, I don't know if anybody shared me into the group yet. Okay, Jimmy Lou says we're sprinkled out there, so she was my person I was looking for. Okay, let's put you down here. Thank you so much, you guys. Annette says she's watched some. Hi, Becky. Yeah, everybody has just been great today. And you know what? Always when we have these events and it's kind of, the same type of a theme, kind of an overall theme, you get just such great ideas. And that's why I love to have, some of these kinds of, events to be able to participate in or even to watch. Hey, Shauna, how are you? Constance, hi there. Mary, hello. Okay, let me switch my view. I almost did a bad thing. I think I almost turned myself off. That would have been really bad. Okay, you guys, this is what we got done yesterday, and here was my cover that I put together. Jimmy Lou sent several of us, four of us were working on the same piece of fabric. This had been a placemat, and so I've turned it into my journal cover, and it's a little tall. I left it a little tall because I was telling you yesterday, when this came over like this, I wanted to be able to see this white, just a thing. And then I had put one of these little squares that was left, and I did some, I picked off this and made it frayed, and I had it on here. I put it on here, and then I didn't like it, and so before it was all the way dry, I ripped it off. But you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm not going to do it now because I still need to do some work here inside the cover before I do that. But see how these things flip up? So if I was going to cover it, see, it just flips up. So you know what I think I'm going to do? I've got one button jar that I'm not really, well, I'll show you. This button jar seems to have numerous buttons that match. And I don't know where these came from. I really don't know. But I think somebody, you know, used to take them probably off of garments before they got rid of them or something. Or, you know, they just took them off of the cards and tossed them in. I don't know which. But you know, I found these. They're so cool because they are a funky shape. Look at that. See that funny shape? And so in person, it's kind of hard to see here. But it's just cool. It's not just a super flat button. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sew one on here, up there, one over here at kind of the point of this, and then one down here, and then I'm going to use some kind of fiber, I'm not sure what yet, and then do it kind of like we do the like the policy folder things, to where it will be attached around one of them, and then you can kind of, you know, wind it around and down. So it'll pull all of this together, and it'll help make all of this more flat. Is that a crazy idea? But I think it will work, don't you? Cynthia, it could be, I don't really know for sure. It's kind of got that look like it could be, but it kind of doesn't feel like it is made out of shell. So I don't really know what it's made out of. And it's got, some of them are a little bit marred in places. I don't know. I love shell buttons. Oh my goodness. I love things that, you know, they make a lot of shell that kind of abalone shell. I love those buttons, and I think they are super. But what do you think about that for a wild and crazy method for a closure? I think it'll be cool to just do that and then run that around there. It'll be very different, right? Yeah, I think lots of us have some of those buttons made of shell. I don't really think these are. They could be. And part of the reason I don't think so is kind of the way they look on the back. They have kind of a weird bubbly look on the back, like they have been manufactured in some other way. All right, you guys, that is so funny. If you watched Christy from Funky Junk Inspiration, she ended up taking some of her book apart because she got her signature sewn in upside down. I'm just like, oh, she's doing what I'm gonna do. I didn't get mine sewn. I didn't sew it in yet, but I don't really like how some of it is coming apart. Hi, Molly. Hi, Susan. How are you guys doing? And so, and Maritza, I see Maritza's here. I don't know if I said hello. But you guys, it's so plain. So this was my book that I have from yesterday. My person, yesterday, I put it in the description yesterday. I didn't put it in today. But this, the pages, I just made something on the back here. I made this kind of gingham look in an orange and a brown color, and I printed it on the back of all the pages. And that was all I did, was the printed pages. And by the time I got done, and then we did put in, we made a pocket from like one of the little gift tote bags. And so we did that, and it goes clear across. Shoot, I forgot my punch. I was gonna cut my little thumb hole out. And so anyway, all I did was use all of these. I put a doily in and then that pocket, and that's all I did for anything fun. And by the time I'm like done with it, I'm like, you know what? It's just, it needs more fun. I need more fun in my book than this. And I thought, I don't know what I was thinking, why I didn't grab some other papers. So that's easy enough to take care of. And we are going to take it apart. We're going to add some more stuff in it, and we're going to do a couple of fun things. So, you know what? Let me grab my punch real quick. It's just right here. Sorry. But I wanted to cut a little thumb notch in there. Well, I don't see it sitting there. Maybe I did take it out. Who knows? You never know. And I don't know if this one will go through. But all we have to do is just clip the threads and take it apart. Before I do that though, and you know, I'm not even going to worry about really keeping it lined up, because I was going to, but you know, if I'm going to add some other pages in, it's not going to matter. And here's the other thing. I think that if I take this apart, I think that by adding the other pages I want to in here, I think I can make 2 thinner signatures and put them into the cover. And I think that's going to be more fun. So let's get with it. I've got these other pages, and we've got some other things we're going to do too. We'll make a couple of other fun little flip-flap things that I wanted to put in to make some pockets, and another couple little things, and we're going to use these for that. And I got some song papers here. Now they're not going to they are, oops, what in the world? Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm always ruler challenged. I've always got it like, I pick them up upside down and do all crazy things. So this, I'm gonna put my papers in sideways, and the rest of those pages I have measured, and they're 8 1/4 inches tall. So I'm gonna cut it like that, and then they're 10 5/8. How wide are these? Those are a little bit long. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut some off the top and the bottom to make that work. So 10 5/8. I'll just get that there. And these don't have to be, but I had enough. These were a good size because I would be able to, you know, make them the full size as the rest of the pages, right? Hey there. Hi, Christy. How are you doing? Hi, Linda. Okay, so 8 1/4, which is just perfect because then it cuts off this. They were in like a spiral book, you guys. So this big spirally book of music, kinds of songs, everything from hymns to just a real variety. I wonder if I can leave that page number on. I think it got cut off on the other side. Let's try this. Hi, Cynthia. How are you? We're getting more work done in those books, right? We'll get them done eventually. Okay, and then cut this one off. All right, and then I just decided I wanted some other paper. So I've got just some scrapbook paper, and one of these has a real pretty, you know, some text and pictures on the back. It's not really too fall-esque, but it's got a good color to it to go with the rest of, you know, what we've got going on in that book. Now I need to cut this little branding strip off of here, and I'll keep that because we might be able to use that. Isn't that pretty? We might be able to use that in something in here in the book. And all I'm going to do, let me see which way it folds best. Oh, that's not too bad. Oh, hey, I need to make sure this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it this way, and I'm going to just cut it at 6 inches and put one in each of the signatures. And then it needs to be, what did I say, 10 5/8. So I got to cut it back a little bit. Actually, I'm just going to do 10 1/2 because, you know, they just keep getting, you know, actually, I'm just going to do 10. I don't even care if it comes to the edge, because, you know, as you move through your book, they just start sticking out farther and farther out of the edges. You know, your closed edge. Tell me about that. Tell me if you guys, here, let me pick this up and tell you what I'm talking about. Okay, when you guys put your signature together, and you've got it like this and it's sticking out like this, tell me, do you trim it or leave it? I want to know. Sometimes I do both. It just depends on what the cover is. But tell me what you mostly do. Hi, sweetie. How are you? Hey, Sue. And Susan. I'm not usually on this late, and so this is a little bit different. People are not used to finding me on this late. So tell me, though, do you trim it or leave it? That's my question. And then I've got another one here. I'm going to do the same thing. It's going to go pretty in that, well, this has got a bird. I guess I better be careful where I cut. Well, there's birds everywhere on it. Well, it looks like this is the direction it goes. So let's just cut it lengthwise. First, let's just make it 10 inches here. Because, you know, they don't all have to be the same. Because like I said, they're going to start sticking out weird anyway. Leave it, both. Leave it. Okay. Becky and Sweetie and Carol all say they leave it. And Sue says she does both. Yeah. And we don't have to do 6. I mean, one could even be a smaller little section. In fact, let's do that. Let's put one at about 7. We'll leave one a little bit long and one a little bit short. All right, so now then we are going to add these in, and then I printed another couple of pages. So let's go ahead and let's kind of rework some of this. But you know, you guys, if that's all the farther that you are, and you decide there's something about it that you just don't really care for, you can go back in and just, you know, open it up and redo it. You know, there's no rules that say you can't do that. So I'm going to just take this, and I had turned this over, so it's got a little bit of a, it's kind of reinforced along that edge. So we're just going to do this, and then I'm going to ink it a little bit. And all I'm going to ink it with for this is my regular black ink that I use a lot for stamping. Because I know it's black, and I use so much of the time when I ink, I'm using those Distress Oxide inks. And they are part dye-based and part pigment ink. And so you don't want to mix that into just you don't want to mix your pigment ink, or you don't want to mix them together like on the ink pads. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. You know, and then here's another thing I like to do. When I'm working on these, I like to take my little scissors, and instead of this harsh little point here, I like to just give it the tiniest little trim and kind of round it a little bit. Of course, I don't know if I can. That's kind of hard to get in through there. I just don't like it so pointy. All right. I guess I could hold them both together and do it at the same time. It's easier to do it this way. You know, sometimes if you're having trouble like cutting something, a lot of times if you just flip your paper around a little bit of a different direction, it really helps. Okay, now I'll just get that in here. See, the inside of the pocket is white, but I folded that over to give the top edge a little bit more strength. Because this kind of paper, you know, you guys all know gift bag paper, a lot of times they're just not all that strong. So I'm just going to do that. Then it'll look, it won't look so, well, just look like it was meant to be, right? If you can't see all that white there. Okay, I think we're good. So we got that, and they don't match, but you know what, you guys? You're not going to see them at the same time. See, they're not lined up, but you're not going to see them because they're going to be, you know, in different pages. So, okay. Let's see here. So let's go ahead and fold these in half. So we've got those all set. Annette says she leaves them too. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Hi, Denise. Hey, Susan. You guys, how are you doing? What's it like where you are? We have had another pretty day today. It was still, last time I looked though, it was still up around 90 here. So we're still getting those warmish days. I mean, we're still running the air conditioner. Aren't they pretty? They really are. You know what? Let me look real quick, you guys. Let me see. I'll tell you exactly what that lady's Etsy page is. I should have put it in the description again, and I just didn't. I was remiss in taking care of that so you would know. Oh, it's rainy in Maryland. Okay, hi, Nancy. Hi, Ann. Oh, thanks. Yeah, aren't these gorgeous? I'll look in the things from yesterday, and I will tell you. Something wizard. Wizard something. Let me see. It is called... Wizard Art Designs. Wizard Art Designs. Okay. So, and she's on Etsy. Wizard Art Designs. Alrighty. There. Now I can feel like I've done my part in sharing. Right? So I'm just going to fold it in half. Fold all of these in half. And then we're going to take some of those apart. I guess that looks like it goes this way. But look at this. See? This color. Look how pretty that will look. It doesn't matter where it's going to be within here. The colors looked really great. And then it's got kind of this yellow. That's not, you know, it'll look okay. And then this, I loved how this kind of has this gray color that kind of, you know, goes in there. It's a little bit of a different tinge, but, you know, it'll work. Right? That's what we like, is it'll work. Oops, I got that messed up. Okay, so let's just pull some of these others apart and kind of reorganize them a tiny bit. Now this one I had as the center, and I'd like to still keep that as a center part. And there's that. Okay, and I want to make sure there were two of these trunks, and these little cute pages with the trunks are what we're gonna work with today in a minute. So I want to make sure I have that. Okay, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I put one of these in? No. So this would be 10. Yeah, that kind of looks okay right there. Across from that brown. Oh, I like that. Okay, so there's like about 11. Let's see what this leaves with this over here. And they don't have to be this. Oh, I forgot we forgot to put some music in. You gotta have music, right? I like to have some music. And you guys, I'm gonna put them in upside down like this. And that might really bother you, but it's gonna fit. I like the fact that I can get it to fit, and I like to put some text in. I like to put some music in. And when I didn't have anything, it's just like, oh, this is no fun. We gotta have some fun. Here, maybe we'll just put it here. Well, what do we got here? No, I don't want to do that. You know what? Where are we going to put it? Put it right there. I don't know. Who would think that deciding where to put papers would be this difficult? Let's just put it here closer to the front. I like that. Man, that's still really full. That is still full. We might need to take another couple out. Let's see what else we've got. I like these here. We put those together yesterday. You guys, this is probably so boring. Watching somebody flip-flap back and forth. I feel like we need to take at least some out. Okay, let's see how many this leaves us over here, you guys. The book that I have that is spiral bound and has all of these songs in it, it has got so many things in it. Maybe I'll just put that in the middle. And oh, somehow I've gotten, you guys, now I hardly have any pages that I've pulled out for this one. What have I done? We need way more. And I should have grabbed another little doily, but I didn't. Oh, I know. Hang on. Let's take, here, we could add this one. And let's see, what else should we do? There must be something else we can pull. You know what? Let's put the doily over here. And that will give us something else in this side. Okay, so I mean that one is very thin. That one feels thin. This one feels, well, it feels thinner now. I think that'll work. I think this will be perfect now. Okay, got it. Oh, well, we left this guy out. Well, I think we're gonna have to put him in this side. Let's put it right here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we'll put that one there. Since we've got this one, and we already poked holes yesterday. Let's see. Now this one, I'm gonna have to move this one up to make sure it catches in both of the holes. And this one, oh, I'm not sure that's gonna hit. Well, it'll catch in 2 holes. Let's just leave it low. I think that will be fine. Okay. All right, you guys, let's do it. Let's tap it down and do it. Okay. How many of you have ever had something that you took? What kind of paper did I print on? This paper is, hang on, I'm going to tell you what it is. I had a hard time finding it. It is 24 pound and it's Xerox. And the reason I got it because I had a hard time when I needed another ream of paper finding something that was nice and white. And to me, sometimes I need it to be white to get good colors. If you don't have some good colors printed, or if your paper is kind of an off tone, so are your colors going to be. Okay, let's grab this out. What time is it? Oh, well, that's not too bad. That makes me feel better. Okay. So let's go ahead and poke these in. Now, I'm going to sew these into the, I'm going to sew them, I think, on the sewing machine onto the soft cover. So I'm just poking right back through here. And as easy as this is going through, I'm pretty sure I've, hit the holes from the last time too. There weren't very many things that needed another one. Oh, Denise, my husband was just telling me about that earlier today. Yes. I agree. And then take about 3 times the length of your book or the height of your book, and you'll have plenty to do your stitch. Does anybody know? I heard Christy talking. I heard somebody at the end of Christy's talking about the 5 stitch pamphlet stitch. Was that what she used? I was doing something else while I was listening to some of that, and then I didn't see if that was what she used. I've done some of that too. Sometimes if I've got smaller things and I need to make sure that I catch them, I'll do that too. And I really have to think about it when I'm doing that. It's like, okay, let's see. So, I mean, it's not much different than the 3-hole punch, but you just have to, kind of, you just have to know, you have to have the plan, right? Do I use a lot of ink? I don't really know, and I don't really care or even think about that anymore since I got a one of the EcoTank printers. And as much as I print, I do not fill it up a lot. I don't know what the deal is, but they don't really seem to, I don't know, it just seems a lot more economical to print in color. And I enjoy being able to print in color whenever I want to, instead of thinking about how much ink it's going to take. And that's how, printing before kind of was. There we go. Out through there. And then back up through the center. Okay, here we go. Like somebody's not wanting to budge in there. And then make sure you've got your little string, one on one side of this long piece and one on the other. There we go, and then just pull it. I'm going to lay that out. And then just tie a square knot, so that's like left over right. Whichever way you start, then the next one is opposite. So this is left over right, and now I go right over left. Except I got my strings messy. And then sometimes I'll just do one more for good measure. You can either trim them off, you can tie a little bow, whatever you want to do. Sometimes until I decide if I'm going to just trim it off, or what I'm going to do, I'll make a little bow so it's a little bit neater, and then I've got all of that still there if I need it. So now we've got that one. Let's stitch the other one real quick, and then we're going to go in and do some other fun stuff in the book. Now this one, since we've got this here in the middle, let's see here. You know what? I don't want to put that in the middle. If I put it down low, it'll catch twice. So that will be fine. That will work. And I just like kind of, nudge these tight against each other. The problem is going to be that guy's going to get away. I have to clip him on the side. Okay. And sometimes you have to use, depending on what you're doing and how you're, doing it, you have to have it's nice to use a template. And usually I don't. I'm just doing these. This size book I do about 1 inch up. If it's very, if it's smaller book, you can maybe only do a quarter of an inch. Like 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so we've got one here, and then I'm going to go down here and about 1 inch in. Well, actually, wait a second.
Some of these already had it, remember? There's that one there. So let's try and go through there. There we go. Okay, and now let's see where this guy was over here. I don't know how many new pieces are in this signature. There we go. Oh yeah, you could tell we hit right through there, you guys, because it went right through so easy. Constance, did that make any sense, what I was saying about the ink? And I tell you what, I think I have saved enough money to pay for that printer many times over. I bet you at first when of course I wasn't printing as much as I do now. I forgot to measure how much I needed. It was almost a year before I added any to my the tanks on my printer. I mean, that's a long time, you guys. Even from the printing that I used to do, you know, just I use a printer quite a bit though, but my goodness, that's a long time, right? You belong to Insta Ink. Yeah, I didn't have very good luck with the Insta Ink program, to tell you the truth, at all. Sometimes we would get a cartridge and the printer didn't like it. And the problem also with Insta Ink is if you want to, you can't just go buy a cartridge if you need to, because it tells you that it's not a valid cartridge because it wants the Insta Ink one. There were just so many issues, and I hate to say that because at first I thought it was going to be a wonderful thing and make my life easier. And it didn't. Okay, there we go. But well, I got it on the needle. Let me go to the other side. Okay, so there we have that. And I think, you know, I'll probably end up going through and inking some edges as well. We're not going to do that right now. Just one more little turn here. Oh my goodness. And like I said, I'll just tie it in a bow till I decide what I'm going to do with it. Now sometimes I'll go the other side and I'd have to really think about it or to be able to show you, but sometimes if I am putting something out through the cover, let's say this is the cover, and I'm going to sew my signature right through the cover, sometimes I make it to where my string comes out, my ties are up here, and then that's where I will add like a little dangly thing or something. But I have to really give that some thought before I could show it to you. You know, so there's that reason. Let me stick a needle back on here so I can find my edge. Although, no, I don't have to do that. You guys, this is what I do. I take my little cardboard thing here and I have a little notch I cut in it so that I can take my edge and put it there, and then I know where the edge of my thread is. And I usually keep one of them stuck right here too, a needle. So that way if these get separated, at least I still have a needle, right? Okay, now then let's get on to something else fun. What kind of printer do I have? I have an Epson Eco Tank. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. All right. See. Uh-oh, I need to probably have another little. Oh, I know what I was gonna do. All right, we're gonna cut this down. And we're gonna use this on one of these that has the white, and it doesn't have to be as wide as the page. I'm probably gonna take a little bit off, just a little bit off of the edge. not too much. And then let's find it in the book. I don't remember which one we've left the white one in. Oh, right here in the center. So we're going to make a top that flips down. We're going to make the things on the page match the page. How about that? You know, when I saw somebody do that, and it was the way she designed her printables for like a folio, I'm like, well, I kind of like that. That's kind of fun. Oh my goodness. Deborah, I am so sorry. That's not fun. Or no, Rose. Rose has a ongoing migraine. I'm sorry. I hope you feel better soon. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this and we are going to cut it across here where the trunk opens. All right? Where does it open? Well, the little latch thing makes it hard. I don't know which of those lines. I guess it doesn't matter even if I split the difference. Gonna run it right through here. Now here's the bottom of our trunk, okay? Now this, I'm going to hang on, let me think about this for a second. We're going to cut a little bit off of here to make a little hinge. I'm just going to cut about 1 inch. Actually, I need to make sure it's the same width. It could be a little bit less too. Doesn't have to be exact. Okay, so about 1 inch we're going to cut off. We're going to make our little hinge right here for the top part. Okay. And then I'm going to fold it in half. So I'm just going to leave it on here and run this score tool up here. All right. And so this we're going to glue onto the back. Here's my glue. You know, I have never struggled with those. I have people in my family who have, and I know it's a problem. So we're just gonna put this on, squiggle it on. Make sure I got it at the top. Yes. And put it down to where it's just at the edge. Oh my gosh, that was such a little bitty amount of glue. That glued about, it stuck about faster than I was ready for it to. And I know this is kind of mismatched, but I can live with it. And so now we're going to put, I'm going to put a little more glue on so it doesn't, so it gives me just a moment more to get it on there, you guys. All right. So now we're going to put this on here. And we're going to match it up down here. Okay. Okay, so that matches. And then we're going to put this on as a pocket right here. So we'll just do the 3 edges. So we've got kind of a little surprise pocket. And when I saw those little cases, those, you know, little trunks, I'm like, oh, that is cool. That is gonna be perfect. Okay. So now we've got a pocket. So We can stick something in here. And surprise! And I wouldn't even mind. I'm not even opposed. Let's round this corner a little bit. Do I have a corner rounder? Yeah. Let's round it off a little bit, because if we got it matched, it shouldn't matter. Right? Okay, what do you think? What do you think of that idea? So now we got a place to stick stuff in there, and I'm going to do another one. There's a brown trunk as well, so we'll do that one. Ooh, I don't know. We got kind of tight there into the corner. Oh, that still works. Okay. So let's do, somewhere is this same brown one. Let's find it. So you could do this with lots of things. You could, find something and then kind of make a little secret compartment. Secret pocket, right? You guys, I can't tell you how much more I like this by putting some other things in. And why I didn't yesterday, I have no clue. But it just makes me so much happier to see that. Okay, here this one is. So we're going to do the same thing. Now I might cut, that was almost too tight in the center. So I might cut, but I guess it doesn't matter. As long as we match it up, it's not going to really matter, right? Because what is too short on this layer will be peeking out below. And I'm just going to trim it to the edge. All right, so is this one that straight? This one is not quite as straight. The white one we really lucked out because it was super straight, but this will be fun. Well, you know what? Nobody said we had to have a pocket that was, what is this? This is like glue or something there. You guys, let's do this. Let's cut it this way. Let's use some scissors. Oh, this is gonna... Okay, this will be tricky. We're gonna cut it right along where it opens here. Ta-da! So same thing. So let's make our little, we got to give ourselves a little, this one, our print goes a lot farther up to the top, but that's okay, right? It's gonna work out. Let's see. Make sure it doesn't go over my edges. And then again, I'm going to do 1 inch, because 1/2 inch on both sides gives you a nice amount for your little hinge, right? And just kind of put it right in the middle, just kind of eyeball it. Oh, well, why wouldn't I just measure it? I've got it sitting right here, right? Okay. Alrighty. Let's get that out of the way. So we'll do the top. Get our ink, or our glue. Oh my goodness, and I left the top off of that little baby. Okay. Whoops. My ceiling fan's gonna blow it off. So coming up after me is Lisa with Craft Therapy with Lisa Ahmad. We were laughing yesterday. She was talking about how she's a lot more of a grungy journaler. I like it. I don't know. Mine always end up, I just don't have enough stuff. I love the stuff that they pull out and use, and the fibers and the fabrics and stuff, and I just do not have a lot of that on hand to make things like that. So most of the time I'm printing out new stuff, right? So if you're printing it out new, it's gonna look new. Then you gotta grunge it up from there. Okay, let's see. Put my top edge on and line it up down here. There we go. Okay. And then we'll put this one on for a pocket. Same thing. Isn't that fun? And I don't know, because it matches, I don't know if I want to grunge it up or not. What do you guys think? Should we grunge the edges up a little bit so we know that they separate? Why not, right? Let's try it. We left the other one. We could still go back and do it, but let's try it and see what it looks like. Thank you. I appreciate that. So let's just add a little bit on. I mean, it's not much. But it does, look, it gives it a little bit more dimension. I'm not sure on here if you'll even hardly even notice. Man, it just blends. just goes with it already, right? Yeah, I don't know if Lisa's gonna still be working on her book she was working on yesterday, or if she's gonna have something else to show us. I just don't know. That's the thing. We never know. We have to just keep following along. Well, it kind of, kind of helps you see that there's a break there. I kind of like that. I think that works out well. If you hold your paper on the side that doesn't need glue, it helps you remember which side doesn't need the glue. And then you're not flip-flapping it around and getting it all messed up. Listen, I would take all of the kinds of ideas for reminders that I could get. Okay. And if it goes under a tiny bit, it's not a problem. Looks like this needs to scooch over a little. Okay. I think that's it, people. So now we've got two of those fun little pockety things. Oops. We got a little gluage here. Let me grab my craft knife and fix that quick. Because I didn't want that glued down that tight. Okay. It made a little boo-boo there, but later on we could put something else on there. There's always plenty of ways to cover things up with paper, right? What was I opening that for anyway? Oh, I was just going to stick another little something in there. That's a nice size little pocket. I can stick something in there. Have a little pocket. Alright, now, and I brought these. I thought, you could almost make another fun little place to have something with a little, a coffee filter is pretty sturdy. Yes, a little flower or something, right. I agree, Adela. There'll be something we can put right there. And I thought it would be fun to kind of even put something like this. And instead of sewing it into the signature, just putting this kind of along the side to where you could, fold it up like that. The problem is I'm thinking that if I just use, I think I'm going to try a little bit of tape. Hang on 1 second. Let's try a little bit of tape and see if it shows up. I think I'm going to try and tape this together first. I should have kind of pressed this down a little bit. Jimmy Lou, should we get an iron and iron these out? We were laughing about ironing papers or something. Oh, the bag I used. Jimmy Lou was saying she doesn't iron her clothes. She's not going to iron her papers. Oh. But, you know what? If you have stuff that is super wrinkly, you may want to do that. Now, if you put something like this in there, I don't know how long it would take before it would actually, you know, maybe... Of course, I don't know the method they use to make these. Maybe the method that they use, maybe it would really take a long time for them to kind of flatten out. I have no idea. I'm going to try this on here and see if we can see through it. Okay? So I'm going to just put on both the sides and check it out. See what we think. So we'll be gluing both of these sides together. Still, they'll open up. I mean, they'll still be able to kind of flip open. It'll be like kind of a little hinge right there. Okay, so I'm going to fold it back in half. Like this. No, you can't see it. Oh, that's excellent. Let's put another piece down the other side. Now it's not very flat though. Hang on. Oh, I don't know if I can get it on there very good. Why does that seem back? Oh, here, let me do it like this. I'm like, why does that seem backwards all of a sudden? So let's run it along here. So this is just some of that double-sided, you know, and it should be, yeah, you can tear it. That's a nice thing about some of that is you can tear it off really easy. Some of it's called score tape. I think score tape is actually a brand. Oh my goodness. Sometimes this is the worst, trying to get the little edge up, right? Oh my goodness. So yeah, so next up is going to be Lisa. Thanks everybody for coming and watching today and joining us. These are always fun days. Okay, now can we get it on here straight? We're going to try. So right here. Pretty straight. Oh, you know what? You know what this means? There will be no edge trimming on this signature, right? So look. Now we've got like two little things right here. Ooh, I'll have to, let's ink that up a little bit. We have to ink this one up, right? Just a little bit. But I like the, I don't know what there is. I kind of like the feel and the texture of coffee filters. I don't know. Is that because we like paper crafting? I don't know. I just don't know, you guys. But, yeah. And, you know, when you think about it, it has to be a dirty paper because look how much, you know, water it holds. You know, you can take it out with a whole bunch of coffee grounds in it. Take it to, you know, get rid of them. It doesn't just fall apart. So, I mean, it really is kind of sturdy. You can almost kind of see that through the other side without even inking it. Well, that one you could. This one you can't. I don't know. What did you guess that using that tape would keep our glue kind of hidden? I think if we would have used glue, I think it would have shown up. Okay, there we go. I like that. I don't know why. But it gives us something else. I need a pokey tool. Yeah, sometimes I have a hard time getting those liners off, even with a pokey tool, though, you guys. Anywho, you guys think